Hey there, Brett here with Quarter Properties, your Myrtle Beach area real estate expert. And today I want to hop on here and talk to, all my buyers in waiting who are, just kind of know that the crash is coming. And they lived through 2008. They experienced that like I did. And they just know that that second crash is coming. So they're waiting for that big turn back, downfall in prices to kind of time the market just right and make their purchase. Well, they've been kind of in waiting for, 2 or 3 years now, waiting for that big crash. And it's just, it hasn't happened yet. I wish I had my crystal ball. I don't, but I do have some statistics from the years leading up to 2008 versus kind of where we're at today. And they're pretty interesting. When we look at, what was going on in 2004 or 5, those years leading up to it, one of the things that was really going on was these mortgage lenders were getting real creative with their loan types, and especially with their adjustable rate mortgages. Historically, adjustable rate mortgages were around 7% of loan types. By the time we hit 2005, 42% of the loans written in 2005 were adjustable rate mortgages. 42% compared to historic 7%. To give you an idea, currently 7% of mortgages are adjustable rate. So we're kind of back to historical levels. But in 2005, 42% were adjustable rate. Now, that's one thing if they were kind of setting the payment adjustable, it was a 5-1 arm, no, they got real creative, okay? You could do interest only payments if you wanted to on your mortgage, but then there was also just, a pick a payment option where you could actually pay, say, $400 or $500 less than that interest payment and then back that up on the back of the life of the mortgage. We had a lot of interesting and creative mortgage types. And really what that led to was kind of historic lows of homeowner equity. So when you look, then we had 46% kind of a historic low of homeowner equity, whereas right now we've got 72%, so the average equity out there right now is 72% compared to the low of 46% back then. So homeowners today have way more equity in their home, which means they're less likely at risk compared to, say, back in 2005, 2006. When you look at the average age of a home buyer, first-time home buyer back in 2005, 6 was 30 years old. You look at today, the average first-time home buyer is 38 years of age. And when you look at, this was a real interesting statistic. Back in 2005, 28% of the purchases, 28% were investment properties. So these were, speculators, they might have owned, their primary residence, and mortgages were real easy to get off of, say, stated income, and kind of the theory was the real estate market was never going to bust, residential was never going to bust. So you had people stating income, getting interest only loans or pick a payment loans that are now illegal, for investment properties. And then they were hoping that they can rent them out and, the rent pays for the mortgage and they build equity and sell at some point and they become a millionaire. So that's kind of what was going on as we were leading up to the 2008 crash. So a lot of first-time investors kind of speculating on the home market, getting loans that they would never get today. And that's kind of what led to that bubble bursting. And so where are we at today, and why is the market not crashing in residential single-family homes? One of the most interesting, besides the equity amount, 72%, is the average age of a home seller right now. The average age of a home seller today is 63 years of age. Back when we crashed in 2008, but leading up to that, the average age of a home seller was 47, okay? So a big difference. A 63-year-old, a lot of times nowadays, can be on, they've got, they might already be on their Social Security. They might be retired, so they're on income that may not be employment related. So really what it comes down to, the reason why the market isn't crashing is these sellers don't have to sell. They do not have to sell. They may want to sell. They may consider selling, and that's what we're seeing. We are seeing a lot of home sellers that are, they like to move on to maybe a different phase in their life. They might like to downsize into a condo. They may want to change communities, change states, something like that. But they don't have to sell. They've got a lot of equity, and they might be on a retirement income, and they just don't have to sell. So basically what's going on is we are at supply highs. This is the highest supply of homes we've seen in a long time, but we got a lot of sellers who don't have to sell. And that's why we're not crashing. Now, what's going on is the people that do want and need to sell, they'll drop their price and the house will move. We're in a very desirable area, one of the top places to relocate to. So the ones that want to sell, they drop their price, they get it right, the home sells. Everybody else is just kind of hanging out, and if they get their price, you know what, that they will sell and they'll move on to a different phase. So that's kind of what we've got going on, and that's why prices today in May of 25, the average closing was at 369, and then May of 22, 3 years ago, the average closing was at 379. So really, we've just kind of been hovering for the last 3 years, and that's what we've got going on. So if you found this information helpful and you want more interesting tips on Myrtle Beach area real estate or just real estate in general, if you click the like button, subscribe to the channel, we'll keep you up to date. We've got a lot of other ways. Look in the description, ways we can help you now. If you want the easiest way to search homes in the Myrtle Beach area, we've got a link for that. You want to keep up with your home value, we've got a link for that. So just check out the descriptions for ways that we can help you today. And we will be talking to you soon.